Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of a Man once again, and today we are doing another review of a chapter of Kaiju number 8. Today's chapter is going to be chapter 17. It just came out this Thursday, and it was really good. So, we're going to do this the same way we do everything else. It's a recap, then the chapter discussion, then I'll talk some theories, and then that'll be it. If you do want to watch the rest of the series and every chapter that we've done, and as well as a pair of what are they called? Discussions on, random things, do check out the playlist. It's up there in the card. It's also going to be at the end of the video, so you can wait until then. Now, let's just jump into the recap right now. So the last chapter, which I did a review on yesterday, basically Reno and Iharu were duking it out with this humanoid kaiju, and they were getting beat to hell. Like, seriously, really badly. And Iharu had a bit of an introspective kind of situation going on here, which was interesting because I feel like I thought Reno was gonna be the one that had a lot of character development, but it turned out it was Iharu, and Iharu is like not even that big of a character. He hasn't had any, moments yet where he seemed important until now. So it was kind of interesting. It also kind of worked well with Reno, and it kind of developed both of them at the same time in a kind of weird way, and I thought it was really interesting. And basically, Haru and Reno lose, and Reno gets shot up, and help doesn't seem to be coming. But obviously, it's shonen, so help is on its way. It just needs to be a dramatic entrance. So, yeah. Now, Chapter 17 was 18 pages, and if you do not want to get anything spoiled, you should stop right now, go read the chapter, and then come back. If want to see an in-depth review of last week's chapter, please go check out the card for Chapter 16 review. Now, let's just jump into the review of this week's chapter. So Iharu screams for Reno. He's like, afraid for Reno because Reno just got shot to hell. He's got holes all over him. None of them shot him in anything vital, but they were meant to incapacitate him, to immobilize him, and it doesn't seem that great. Reno is on the ground. He's just gone, basically. He's bleeding out from everywhere. He's kind of assessing his injuries, and he tries to patch it up. Apparently, it seems like they have enough control over their suit to make it close and, patch them up to an extent, and he tries to do that, and it seems to kind of work because he starts to get up. But, it's not really working that well. The kaiju is surprised at Reno being able to still move. It kind of is impressed, I guess, but it says that it's hard to immobilize humans without killing them, and it's kind of annoyed of that fact. Iharu tries to shoot it in a way to try to protect Reno, but it just turns around and blocks all of the bullets because it was like a multi-shot thing, and the kaiju just kind of flicks its fingers and hits the bullets off the way, and it says, "I've already seen that trick. It's not gonna get me again," or something like that. And that was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This kaiju isn't necessarily threatening looking. I mean, it was pretty ominous the first time we saw it, but the way it acts is kind of weird. It's like it doesn't really care, but it's still needs to do the thing. And so I don't know how I feel about it, but sometimes it looks really, really crazy and it super evil looking. And I really like when they do that, when the mangaka kind of hypes up certain elements of the design to make him look kind of ominous. I thought it was really well done. And kind of the things he says sometimes are just like, okay, this guy's a badass. Shouldn't mess with him. He's not going to lose easily. So it blocks, and it turns back to shoot Reno. And it shoots him again. You can't really tell where he shoots him, but it says that, it's still not strong enough because Reno still tries to get up. So it tries to go shoot him again, but Iharu manages to move enough to finally reach a gun again and tries to shoot the kaiju, but the gun doesn't work. It's either jammed or it got shot through or something like that, and it just doesn't work anymore. And basically he kind of falls into a bit of despair. The kaiju says he doesn't need Iharu. It already has Reno. Reno is already basically ready to be immobilized and ready for him to take, and he's not gonna waste his time with Iharu. And yeah, Iharu is like destitute, despondent. I don't know what the word is, but he's like done with life. He knows that he's at the end and that there's nothing left for him. Or for Reno either. So he kind of kneels down. He starts to pray and beg for someone to come help him, for someone to save Reno, because Reno is his friend. He says someone to save his friend, and he looks defeated and destroyed, and like he knows that death is coming and he has no way to fight it. And I thought it was really powerful. The mangaka did a really good job kind of portraying this inability to fight against your destiny, or kind of like against your death more than anything. And I thought it was really well done. I commend the mangaka. And yeah, it turns out, before that, the kaiju says, "You can die now," and it like ominously points its finger at Iharu. You know, it does a thing where it just goes like that. Okay, but you know it's a shonen. You know no one's gonna die. There's gonna be an epic entrance. Someone's gonna show up and be like, "No, I'll save the day." And you know who does? Kafka shows up. Super epic panel. He just like appears behind the kaiju. He's like decked out in dark colors and he looks really ominous or really vicious. And then the kaiju's in white with almost no black. And it looked kind of surprised. And I thought it was a really, really good shot. Actually, I'm going to try to see if someone on the Kaiju number 8 subreddit can color it in for me in a kind of cool way and see if I can make a poster out of it. Because I think that shot was super, super awesome. Or that panel was super awesome. It was a 2-pager. It looked super, super cool. And it turns around and it gets a fist to the face. Kafka throws the haymaker of haymakers, kind of in a super similar move to when All Might punches the hell out of All for One. All for One, right? That's his name. When with the United States of Smash, kind of that sort of thing. But obviously nowhere near as impactful because he's just beating up some random bad guy. He's not beating the baddest of the bad like All Might is. But it was really cool. It was a really good haymaker. You could see the motion. Like, you could see how Kafka was off balance from the punch and how the punch really affected the kaiju. It was so, so good. And yeah, so basically the kaiju's head and its body fly off in different directions. And the kaiju is, like, aware enough to be like, I can see my own body. What the heck? And I thought it was really fun. But it was super brutal. It was, like, pretty awesome, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty intense, and I liked it a lot. So, yeah. Kafka kneels down next to Rena. He says, "Sorry for being late, man. I apologize for not being here in time, basically, for taking so long." But Reno's thinking to himself, damn, I'm weak. I was not able to protect Kafka. I wanted to save Iharu and stop this kaiju because I didn't want Kafka to have to transform, and that's exactly what he did. And so Reno thinks he's weak, and he's sad about it, and he kind of knows that stuff is going to go wrong now because he wasn't strong enough. And I think it's really good character development. And yeah, Iharu is super confused. He's like, what the hell? Why is this guy here? And yeah, the kaiju regenerate. It like heads grows out again. And it says, so you're kaiju number 8. And that's where the panel ends. You know, that's where the chapter ends. Kafka just turns around like, what are you talking about? And that's it. That's all it is. And it's so good. I really loved this chapter. One of the commenters that always comments on my videos told me that, you know, this chapter is going to be super good. And it does. It blows out everything. Basically everything except the first couple of chapters out of the water. It's so good. It's so interesting. Last time I felt this, you know, hyped about the series was when Kafka shows up the first time when he saves Kikoru. And it's kind of starting to seem like it's a thing that's going to happen often. He's just going to show up and save each one of the members of the Japan Defense Force one by one. until like they all know that he's the kaiju and they're just gonna accept him because he saved their life so many times. And hopefully that's how it works. So yeah, let's just jump into the theories because that was the end. Yeah, my first theory is basically what I just said. I think Kafka is gonna like slowly save everyone one by one or in small groups or something. And everyone's gonna know he exists, but no one's gonna know that it's Kafka. And then he's gonna like screw up sometime and say something that only Kafka would know, and then everyone's gonna know that Kafka is a kaiju. And obviously, because he's saved everyone and he's been such a good part of the team and everything, even though he's like the weakest, they're gonna want to protect him and they're gonna want to make sure that he stays with them, and so they're gonna have to fight off the rest of the Japan Defense Force. At least that's my theory. I hope it turns out to be something similar to that, because I think turning Kafka into a lab rat, or like the plot point that would develop from that, where Kafka just gets sent somewhere and then Kikoru and Reno have to save him, is a little too predictable. It's like a little too easy to kind of like get over, and I don't think it'll be really that impactful unless, you know, something crazy happens, like Kafka's grandpa is like the leader of the Japan Defense Force and he wants to experiment on Kafka anyways or something like that. You know, unless it's someone in his family that wants to experiment on him, I don't really see that idea really being that impactful, because, you know, humans experimenting on things they don't understand is such a like overused cliche, I guess, in this sort of idea. So I don't know. That's basically the only theories I had today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the chapter as well, and let me know what you thought. Do you agree with my theories? Do you think anything I said was wrong? Did I mess up anywhere in the chapter discussion? So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys later.